Boom. We are officially live. What's up, everybody? If you guys are watching this live, today's going to be a little bit of a unique day because today is the day that Jen officially goes in the ring. Look at her, already ready with the punches. So we're going to do a couple of quick warm-ups here, and then it happens. Then she's ready to go. At this point, it's not about getting ready. It's just about just finalizing the last couple of sharpening pieces on the sword, right?
Exactly. Okay.
So we're gonna get straight to it. If you guys are watching, we're gonna do all of the things. We're gonna run the time. We're gonna do all this stuff, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna give everybody links to go and support for the actual tryouts. I'll throw those into the chats and whatnot as well. So it's gonna be exciting, guys.
Marlene, Frank. Okay.
All right.
I was down. I'll go to here.
I'm gonna do a couple posts here while we're doing this.
At first, I thought Daniel was talking to himself.
Forwarded to an automated voice message.
And let's see. Do you remember we have rapport, handling objections, negotiations.
Here it
There's
is.
one that I can't recall. Creative option, verbal
Rapport,
agreement, contract.
negotiation. Here, I'm gonna put them right here into the chat. Yeah.
Awesome. Identifying pain. That's right.
I see you, man.
Let me do this.
Nope. Wireless. The number you dialed has been changed, disconnected, or is no longer in service.
Next. So we had our intro, onboarding call last night, and RJ came on, talked a little bit.
Did he talk any trash?
A little, not a lot. He did say, though, he did bring up that if he didn't win, or if one of us won against him or something like that, he did mention shaving his beard. He did confirm that. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right.
He did say, the first year he competed, that he was being too mindful of the clock and cutting calls too short. And so the next year he just kind of decided just to be him and not be as, I'm going to say aggressive, but as pushy with the clock.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. Antonio is going to be the guy. This is the guy.
Bueno,
Bueno, Antonio.
Sí.
Antonio.
no,
Oh, lo siento. ¿Usted es el dueño de 2937 Cypress?
sí,
Oh, sí. ¿Y cómo se llama?
Sandra,
Sandra. Ok, Sandra. Ah, usted es el dueño, ¿sí? La dueña. ¿Y con Antonio?
sí,
Ok. Voy a tener mi compañero, quien habla español mejor que yo, llama a usted. Bueno,
ok,
okay,
ok.
okay, gracias. Ciao. All right, Spanish lead. I'm not gonna. We don't get points for that probably because none of the judges speak Spanish, so I'm just going to move forward. Hmm. Unfortunately, that probably would start the clock. Let me see. Start timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Counting down.
Desgraciadamente.
Greetings, this is Barbara.
So I had a Spanish seller pick up. So I guess that means my clock would start, unfortunately, Daniel.
Greetings, this is Barbara.
One more time. Stretched. Thanks, Jake.
What do you want to say?
Can I please have your black mat in the office?
I'll send this.
Don't mind me just multitasking.
We will not. Sorry, I was muted out for a second. Did you ask me something?
I'll send it.
Oh shoot. Well, I had a Spanish speaker pick up, so that probably would start the clock, unfortunately.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, that's true. Well, I guess we'll give it a shot. You saved. We'll make up for the time that you lost sending your text.
What do you want to say?
Can I please have your black mat in the office?
I'll send this.
Yes. I've watched. I don't know. I'm coming into this. My leverage is a calloused mind. Have you read Can't Hurt Me?
I have not. I've watched about 800 lives on the book. I probably could have listened to the whole book by now.
That's so cool. He does lives?
No. But I just watched most of the podcasts that he's on.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he talks about a callous mind, like using your past pain and obstacles as momentum.
I love that.
Oh, this is Jen. I have a note here that says you were considering selling your house on Cedar Hill Lane. How is it going with that?
Well, it is not.
It is not. Okay. Are you still considering selling?
Maybe.
Maybe. Okay. What would turn a maybe into a yes?
What?
What would make that maybe a yes? What would get what are you looking for that would get you to sell?
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, why don't you like let's just say if we were to be the right buyer, would you want to sell in like the next 30 days, 6 months, a year?
I don't know. Really don't know where I want to go after I sell this one.
Okay. So it sounds like you have some homework to do. Would you say? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, is there anything that I could do that would actually that would help and get you to want to take that next step to sell?
No.
Okay. No worry, Donald. I'll follow up with you next week. And after you thought about it a little bit, let me know what you need. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks. You have a good day. Bye. All right. Probably spent a few too many minutes on that guy.
Maybe. I think the only thing you could have even said to this guy is just a clear clarifying question statement. Like, just so we're clear, I'm ready to buy right now. If
Okay,
you're
yeah.
ready to make a serious decision, is that a conversation we can have today?
Okay. That's good. To buy. Yeah. Right now.
Because maybe part of his apprehension is he's talking to a lot of people who come with hypotheticals.
True. Yeah, that's good. Last ditch effort. Okay.
Still doing good on time. You got plenty of time.
How much time do I have?
25 minutes.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a timer.
What is up from everybody watching on YouTube? Welcome. Really appreciate you guys showing all of the support to Jen as she goes crazy today. Munif is not here because he's given Jen her space to get her reps in, but he and Love is supporting from the background. I don't know if you guys know this. Munif's wife, Love, is one of the dopest transaction coordinators in the game, and they are going to be supporting Jen when she gets, let me correct myself, when she gets her contracts in this thing.
Yes. Thank you to them. They've both been so kind and supportive. And thank you to everybody else to resonate what Daniel said. Thank you for your support and participating and your posts and your DMs. I appreciate it. Vieira Hamu, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, made a comment in the chat.
It's Valera.
Valera.
Yep.
Valera, what's going on, man?
Valera.
She's calling my leads right now, but if you got some leads.
Hi, John. This is Jen. I have a note that says you're thinking about selling your house on Kiln Drive. Are you still interested?
Yeah, maybe.
I am a local home buyer. We are looking to buy right now in your neighborhood and wondering if that's a conversation we can have today. I see. Okay, so it sounds like you've been having a lot of conversations and have gotten offers already.
I had a really bad experience a year ago.
Oh no. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, it looks like a beautiful home, John. I mean, what has you? I'm sorry you had that experience. I've had people who pose as buyers call me a lot, and unfortunately, it makes my job a lot harder. So I am a real buyer, and I would love to help. What has you thinking of selling? Your house looks very beautiful and pretty new.
Yeah, it's well, it was built in 2012. And it's free right now.
Kids? 2 out of 3 kids? Okay.
I don't.
Oh, okay. Congratulations. So it sounds like you have a lot going on. You have lots of kids. Sounds like you've done well because they've flown the coop, and now you want the money to help pay for the wedding next year. So a portion of it. I get it. I get it. Okay. Well, what would help you get to the place that you need to be that you did not get from that guy besides like him? I know he didn't perform, but what specifically did you not get that you need from me to move this forward?
I didn't.
Got it. Like he overpromised and underdelivered, it sounds like. Yeah, okay. All right. Have you already tried like listing it? Is that something that you've already considered? Okay, yeah, so there's water damage. That is always a big pain. And
Well, it's
okay. Okay.
like feel like you can 500 or less.
Okay. Well, that all makes sense. John, I don't want you to, yeah, I get it. It's okay. I actually have a call here I have to jump on in 5 minutes. So I want to make sure that I'm able to give you what you need. So it sounds like you have a clear picture in terms of what you want for the property. What are you hoping to walk away with, like cash in your pocket?
Well,
How much?
or I would, you know, and where I budgeted, not as much for this next house in the 475 to 500 range. So if I can pay cash for the next house, 50 grand in my pocket, that would be a due.
So you mentioned you don't have a place to go yet, but you do know around about what the homes are running for that you want to move into. Okay. And
Yeah.
so you said 475 to 5, and you need, did you say 45? 45? 40 to 50 to put down because you're planning to get another mortgage. Oh, after you pay. Got it. Okay. So you want to be able to pay cash and then walk away still with some. Okay. So it sounds like that is, I can see why the other guy didn't perform because he wanted to get you under contract and then shopped it around, and you know, it's full market value. So for a cash buyer, there'd be no room for even a marginal profit on the back end, right? Yeah, you sound pretty realistic. So what if there were a way I could get you your asking price? And let's see here, but it would entail getting that in, say, 3-4 months or so. Is that something that you would consider?
What do you-
Well, we call it fix and list. So this is, you know, it doesn't sound like there's a lot of work needed, but there is some to get it 2023 ready. What if we could put the money into it ourselves, bring our own crews to get the work done, pay for all the expenses, nothing would come out of your pocket during that time. Then we would list it and you would get paid at that point. You'd get more money then. Is that something that you would consider?
Possibly.
Possibly. Ooh, a redhead. Aren't you lucky? Okay. Okay, so how would we get her into our phone call? Pictures would be great. Yeah, so if we could do like a phone, if you could send me some photos, that would be ideal. And if we could have a follow-up conversation, maybe like later today or in the next, you know, however many minutes, would that work for you?
Well, I'm actually.
Okay. I'm actually in California, but I do have one question. Let's just say, you know, we can only get you, because this is actually really determined by the market. Let's just say, based on the other comparable properties in the area, they say that the market comes in at like 500, right? Is that something, would you consider even taking any less than 475 to 5? Is there anything out of pocket you can bring for your next home? Yeah. Or yeah. Yeah. I get it.
There are things. I mean, I'm not professional. Fluctuates. Anyway. No.
Yeah, you know, I do see the one that sold a few doors down, 3023 for 535, and they had one less bath. So as long as we can recoup our costs and make like 12%, maybe 15% profit margin on the back end, we can make the deal happen. So I actually have to jump on another call, but if that works for you though, you would be open to signing a purchase agreement if the redhead agrees? Okay. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow at the same time. Does that work? Okay, have a good day. Bye. Probably spent a little too much time on that. That was eating into my clock, but I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to make sure I had like a verbal agreement.
So I personally thought you did a good job of managing that, all things considered. I couldn't hear everything because the first half of it, I noticed when you hold your phone lower, we can hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You know what I forgot? I was still holding it high like my old setup.
Nice. Yeah, but I love the way you asked for the verbal at the end and threw in the redhead
Okay.
thing. I thought that was super dope.
Okay, good.
Please leave your message for. Please leave your message for.
Straight to voicemail. What I'm praying for today is just a nice straight cash sale.
Schematic voice.
Celadonio. It's a nice name, Celadonio. I could have rehashed the pain at the end, like if we could get you paid. Hi, Mark. This is Jen. I have a note that says you are considering selling your house on Bayou Drive. Are you still thinking about that?
So,
It's sold. Congratulations. Did you already close escrow and you got paid? Yeah, good job. Do you have any others that you're interested in selling?
3123 Crosby Cedar Bayou.
Crosby Cedar. Okay. And what's going on with that house?
It's for sale.
It's for sale. Okay. Well, why are you selling it? Is there something going on with it? Are you living in it? What's going on there?
Everything's for sale.
Everything is for sale. Yes, yes, I understand. Okay.
It's the business you're in, isn't it?
It is, but I would not sell you my kids. I would consider it, but I know, right? Okay, so are you living in the house or is it an investment property? It sounds like you're an investor. Vacant.
So there's 3 houses.
Oh, really? 3 houses on one lot? Nice. Okay.
It's not a lot, it's
And all of them are vacant?
there's 1, 2 of them are vacant. They're being renovated as we speak.
Okay. And you said who is the third one occupied by? Oh, I thought you said the third one was okay. So they're all vacant. 2 are being renovated. 1 is not. And then, why not just keep them and rent them again?
That's just
So if you were me, because I can tell you're a smart man, it sounds like you've been doing this for a while. If you were me looking to buy, what would be what sort of deal would you be looking for with these three houses in the condition that they're in?
1 house is 150 square feet, 2-car oversized garage, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. House number 2 is 1,000 square feet, 1 bedroom, 1 bath. House number 3 is 1,500 square feet, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Shop number 1 is 5,000 square feet with 5 bays on it, in it. Shop number 2 is 7,500 square feet with 5 bays. Shop number 2 has a 1,000 square foot apartment in the south end of the building.
Wow. Okay. I can tell you know your stuff. So what was your total net income for all of those?
Well, from shop number 1, work out of shop number 2. There is another tenant in shop number 2. If everything was rented out, and I had family living in, I got 3 daughters and none of them paid rent. I had 2 daughters living in house number 1. I got a daughter living in house number 2 as we speak, and I had employee living in house number 3. So it was difficult. I'd have been better off renting everything to total strangers.
I have 2 daughters, so I hope that I can do the same thing that you're doing. So I'm sure they really appreciate their dad. Sounds like you've really been. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, I'll be your daughter. I would appreciate it. Well, okay, that's good. Well, what is it that you're hoping to get for all 3 houses, John?
1.2 million.
1.2 million. I figured you had And how did you get to that number? Sounds like you put a lot of thought into it.
I drank. I had 2 cans of beer, 3 shots of tequila, and I grabbed a dart and threw it at the wall, and that's what it did.
You know, the homeowner I was just talking to said the same thing. Okay, so if that's how you came up with that price, then perhaps there's some room for negotiation. What?
There's revenue and there's that's what this is worth.
Okay,
You could get with minimal investment, house number one. House number one needs minimal investment to get it back in line. Actually, the ex-wife I lost the property in the divorce.
Mm.
She's going to renovate and live in house number one. She's going to convert that into a duplex, which I advised her of, and she finally listened for a change. So there'll be 2 tenants in that property. And then she's probably gonna do the same thing in house number 3 and get a tenant or a property maintenance man living in the apartment in the south end of shop number 2.
John, I'm sorry to interrupt, but you mentioned something that was important. You said that you lost it in the divorce. Does that mean that you lost the opportunity to sell all of them and she's now the one who is responsible for that? Okay.
She is looking to sell.
She is looking to sell it. Okay. Well, what is her number? Perhaps I can give her a call and see how we can.
Sure.
I always want to give it a shot.
No, get me shot.
I'll get you shot. No, of course not. I do not want to be responsible for anybody's harm. But do you think she? Okay, that sounds good. Is there any, I mean, does she, but you said she wants to sell. So if you could connect us, I would appreciate that. That would be great. Okay, I'm Jennifer and I appreciate your time and I wish you the best of luck with those 3 girls. I have 2, so, you know, I feel it.
Yeah, they say they grow up and then they grow right? I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Yeah, exactly.
My imaginary watch that I don't wear a watch. And I'm waiting.
Right. You know, I do have a question actually before we disconnect because I have 3 minutes. What do you think her biggest objection would be to selling?
The loss of potential revenue.
Okay, so
Because she had another property that she wanted to divorce, and she put it into short-term rentals, and she made like Airbnb with transient employers, and she made a pile of money on that.
yeah,
I think she got a taste of that. That was a 7,000 square foot house with 6 bedrooms, private baths, and everything else, and she had a construction crew that just rented the whole house.
wow. Okay, so the 1.2, it doesn't sound like that is for like an investor. Like, is that a price that you would pay? It doesn't sound like that's really discounted for an investor, is it?
Oh, you can get potential on this property, and then likely what she's going to do is replicate house number 2 on the back of the property, and create the other 1,000 feet. It's 1 bedroom because I tore out one of the walls just to make it open. And she's probably going to replicate that with a 2-bedroom and put 6 or 8 of those on this property.
Okay.
That would be ideal. There's a driveway going right down the middle of the property, and you can turn off into each individual driveway and go, and that's what she's going to do.
Okay, so it sounds like she wants to do all like so. I just have 2. So usually we buy cash. It doesn't sound like this is a cash opportunity. It sounds like this is it might be too tight for cash. So do you?
Well, it is, cash is king.
Would you,
I think she has, a long-term plan, and she's going to get, some property under her belt.
okay,
And that's, she's gonna get what she wants out of it, or she's gonna do what she wants with it.
you think that she would be open to one of these two options, either receiving payments so that we could come up to her number? You know, elevating her to to the bank?
And like I said, speak for her.
Yeah,
Your number, give it to her.
okay,
And former conversation we had, then you guys can move forward.
okay, yeah, if,
You're an innocent bystander.
I get it, I know.
This is the finance. Pay for all this shit, and she gets it.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
She was a good woman for a long time.
Okay, good.
It's, I was. The good book comes on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time, John. I appreciate it.
How many?
Mark, I'm sorry. I got you mixed up with the last guy I talked to. Mark, I appreciate your time.
I identify myself as John Snow.
Bye. You've been fun talking to. Have a good day.
You too, guys.
So my timer's going off because I started it from when that Spanish speaker picked up, but maybe you can give me some feedback on that one. Uh-oh.
That was no. I'm here. I'm listening. I was walking around. I put my headset on so I could hear it.
Okay.
That was it. So he owned none of those, right?
He owed none of them because his
Oh
name
my
was
God.
there, and then I found that mid-time, but I only had like 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I thought rather than hang up and try to spark it up with somebody, I was just trying to get him to do some verbal, and
Yeah.
try to pitch something creative. But I
That's
don't know. What do you
tough.
think?
Yeah, it's like here it's like what's the best thing to do and then what's the best thing for the competition, right? Like I feel like in a situation like that, if that's me, I'm just abandoning ship, right? And I'm cutting ties because I don't
Okay.
foresee them giving you any points for
Yeah.
even getting verbals on somebody who's not qualified to talk on the property, right? So the second I found out that he was no longer involved and he says, yeah, maybe I'll get her in touch, I would have just probably ended it there and just been like, hey, look, we have a lot of options. I'm very serious. We do a lot of creative stuff. If she's looking to collaborate with somebody who wants to do something, have her give me a call, and I would have just jumped.
Okay. Yeah. And that comes to my question. I forgot to ask the question up front. Like, if we can agree on a reasonable price today, is there anything that prevents you from signing today? And then I would have found out in like the first couple minutes.
Yeah, maybe so. This is just a Daniel personal thing. I hate using template one-liners like that because it just makes me sound like everybody else, and I feel like that puts up some resistance for people. But that's just the me thing. I don't know how. I haven't tested that, but it would have saved you time in this example, right? So
How would you say it up front then? Like with
I
the whole,
honestly,
like, just,
I don't walk in. It's kind of like in the car business, right? Like some people won't talk to somebody unless they know they're qualified. But how do you sound when the first time you talk to somebody is, hey, cool, awesome, glad you're here. What's your credit score?
yeah.
Right.
That's
So
true.
pre-qualifying like that, almost it just sounds gimmicky, right? And so it's not wrong. I think it's a great professional approach to kind of lead like that. But I feel like you're going to lose some people who don't want to have those standard sales conversations. So I think it's a catch-22. I think you just kind of pick which road you want to go down and then stick to it.
Okay.
Your 30 minutes is officially up.
Hey,
Do you mind if I make
actually
it?
heard that
I can
call.
make a few phone calls afterward, Puggy.
Yeah, 100%. What you got, What's up, bro?
I actually heard that call. I actually think it's okay. I think Jen made the right call, and I'll say why.
Okay.
Also thought if you went above MAO and locked up a contract above what the judges said was a deal, you should get no points. But I actually got the highest points for locking up that contract when I did it on the first day. My contract, the MAO was 30K on my deal. I locked it up for 31K or something, or 32K. So, what might make sense in wholesaling might not make sense in the competition. So it like, if you're screwed, you're screwed. You're like, what are you gonna do in 4 minutes, right? So you may as well like impress the hell out of those judges. I think, like, I'm gonna say, Jen, you're going up. Your instincts are good. Go with what your gut says. You
Yeah,
know, it's a competition for points. right now, you want to just knock everyone's socks off by sounding so damn good on the phone. That's all you got to focus on. Doesn't matter how they react. You just sound so damn good. People are gonna go, oh dang, like she can talk to anybody. Like that's what's gonna help you.
So Munif, in your opinion, knowing that this guy's not the seller, he no longer owns the properties, but then you realize you only got 4 minutes left, you're just staying on the call and you're just gunning it.
Bro, if I got 25 minutes left, I'm hanging up. I'm like, sorry, bro. If I got 4 minutes left, look.
Good point.
Let me tell you something. On day 2, I got a verbal and they gave me the verbal and that person already sold the house.
Ooh.
Mm.
All right, there you go. That's about all you need to hear right there.
You just gotta sound good, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a game, it's a competition. Like you know, obviously certain things you can't control, but you know, they're like, hey, we're gonna give them points for a verbal, and that pushed me to the 3rd round. And like that person, we found out like they sold the house. Like even some of the commentators were like, I think this person already lost their house. Like it was either like a tax lien or something. Like I don't think this person owns it, but the judges didn't care. And I think Jeremy Davis was like, they sold. He was like writing in the Discord, like they sold. And I was just like ignoring him because she was like, she was about it. She was like, yeah, I'll sell you it for 2,000. I'll sell you the house for 2,000. I was like, all right, like if I can get you 2,000, are you gonna sign? And she's like, yeah, I'll sign anything. I'm like, well, I gotta check to see if you still own it. But you know, if we have a deal. So it was really cool because I got points for that. So I think just go for it. I wouldn't recommend doing that as a business model, like kind of like what Dan is saying. But it could work. Like if you're screwed anyways, just throw that Hail Mary and just see what happens.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you both. I am going to just keep making some calls when we disconnect here. Just
let's do it. So
keep
when
the-
the live starts when? Like now?
The live starts at 1 Pacific.
1 Pacific.
And
Okay.
1 Pacific. And then there is like a whole schedule. There's like everybody introduces themselves quickly. It's like a 2-minute round robin thing. And then they do some little advertisement. I don't know. You probably remember that they had like a pretty breakdown schedule when you did it. No.
Yeah, they had a whole setup for sure.
So
Yeah,
you know what time you go exactly, Jen?
I don't, because they're gonna spin that wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they'll spin the wheel and then we'll know what time everybody goes. And then everybody has a time slot. Shoot, I thought I had the schedule. I guess I don't. I thought I sent it. Anyway, that's all she wrote.
Well, let's do it. So
Thank you.
do you want to just keep calling?
I do, but I want to keep everybody on and just have them listen to me. I might get kind of old. No. Oh, I just got
People
the
will be
thing.
old. All right, if you want to do your own private thing, Jen, you're more than welcome to do that. But
No,
we
I
are
mean,
here.
like I'm down to keep going. I just want to be mindful of, respectful of your time.
No, we're here. We're here to support you. So let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, I'll go for like another 15 minutes.
Okay.
Then I have time to go.
Getting a
Maybe-
lot of
maybe
love.
then maybe I can feed my kids.
You want they eat like every day?
Oh well, on a good day.
Okay. I mean, you gotta
On
handle
a
your
good
business,
week, I
right?
guess I should say, in a good week.
Eat what you kill type situation.
Yeah, exactly. The 4-year-old is really good at cooking. You know, she's very good. Let's see here. They yeah, they've gotten really good at managing their time while I make phone calls. So I'm grateful.
That's awesome.
Until they don't.
Mini closers in training.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I got my CRM link, thankfully,
Nice.
for Speed delete. Log
Yo,
in
yo.
URL.
What's going on, Naomi?
Click here to log in.
Hey, family. Jen, I caught the second half of that call. I loved it. And I totally agree with Nunif under the Hail Mary Act
Oh, yeah.
because you got so much
Hey.
good intel that if that wife or ex-wife calls you back, like I got so many ideas of how that conversation could start because he gave you so much ammunition.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was a really great question you asked, Liv, is like, what would be her biggest, what do you think her biggest objection to selling would be? And he told you passive income. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, ooh, creative. You don't have to have the landlord, you know what I mean? You turn from landlord to lender. You get the best of both worlds, sis.
Pedro, this is Jen. I have a note that says you're considering selling your house on Burr Street. Are you still thinking about that?
I told you that.
Pardon me?
I told you that.
Is
It's
that-
that exciting news.
Oh, the exciting! I know, aren't I lucky? Somebody from my team must have talked to you a little while ago. I'm not sure when, but what?
Do you know how much it is?
I don't have any of the information. That's why I'm calling you, Pedro. So I'm just gonna ask.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
having like maybe minimum of 5 people calling me today
What?
and calling about this house. I don't know what the hell. This might be oil underneath the house if they want somebody wants to look at me.
Wow.
It might be. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of hungry people out there. I mean, so what are you thinking? What is it that you need in order to make it a deal?
My job. I keep telling that to everybody that comes along, and every time I give them a price, a thing, they get scared. They go away. They never come back, and they don't say, "Hey, thank you, Pedro," or anything like that. So, fine. That might be a. Give me 1 second. Let me turn this thing off.
Okay.
There you go.
So you want
Every time I talk to somebody about the price, it scares everybody. I think everybody wants to make some money, but I'm not trying to make any money. I'm trying to just to buy another house.
okay, so you want to move
Because
close.
it's close to my job. I mean, I've been driving to this place almost 20 years,
Oh
and
my
so
gosh.
I've been driving for. Let's see, it's 50 miles from where I live to my job. Yep, every day. So it's 200 miles, 800 miles a month. You can tell pretty much. My new car is old car now.
Oh my gosh. So that's a lot.
Making money. I'm not trying to give it away also, but what I'm trying to do is just sell it. That's
Okay.
what I can do. I can buy myself somewhere close to my job, but I need to. I only got 5 more years to this beautiful job that I have.
Wow, Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro, I'm sorry to interrupt. I appreciate you sharing that. That's a lot of driving, and it sounds like I don't want to waste any more of your time since you've already had this conversation 100 times. What is the price that you're looking for? And
My wife and I came with a round number. It was 325.
yeah,
And then, and due to the fact that this place is booming, I don't know what the heck's going on here. So, like I said, tomorrow or somewhere in this neighborhood or something.
so
It's something
325.
pretty good.
325. And how did you and your wife come up with that number?
That's the question I get from everybody.
Yeah.
How did I get it? Well, let's see. Pretty much around our neighborhood, not all the houses, but a lot of those houses, they've been selling almost from $400,000 to almost $600,000. I don't know what the heck's going on out there, but I think the economy is just going up or something very badly. But it's one of the things that we looked.
Okay.
Now, when you go online and you see my property taxes and all this stuff and all that beautiful stuff, it's because I had fought these people so badly that I was paying almost $2,000 some dollars already, almost $2,500
And
in taxes.
oh wow.
So thanks to my wife that she's turned 65, and we put that up, of course, a lot lower.
So
But,
Pedro, so
what I'm trying to say is the price you see online on the taxes and all this stuff is not the real price. There's no way you can get a house in my neighborhood for $160,000.
Yeah.
There's no way. There ain't no way in hell you can get that.
Oh, you know
it's
what?
really run down.
You know, Pedro, yeah, you don't have to be, I don't go
Yeah.
by that. But I do just needed to know what you need. And before we get any deeper into the conversation, I know you keep mentioning your lovely wife. Does she need to be a part of this call in order for you to make it?
Me and her, we have an understanding. We already came to a conclusion, but we do want to sell the house.
Okay.
And one of the things that we did to the house is with the kitchen is we upgraded the kitchen. It's used to be a room. Now we open it up to an open concept. It looks nice. It looks like actually it looks bigger than inside than it looks. But it's very nice actually.
You know, Pedro.
Of course it needs painting and all that stuff.
Yeah, Pedro, it sounds like a nice house, and I want to help you so that you don't have to continue that horrible drive. If we could come up with a plan together where I could get you the three, close to your number, would you consider taking payments?
Payments, yeah, that's another thing that the other investors were telling me. There's several that you probably have, and one of them was the payment thing. Well, this is the thing. Payments are off the table because one of the things that we want to do is save the money. We take our time to buy the house that we want close to our job. I know there's a lot of houses around, but we need to take time. And like I told my wife, I said, babe, if somebody comes with the money, we need to have a plan to move out of the house as soon as possible.
I'm glad you brought that up, Pedro. That's a that's a very important thing. Do you have a place in mind where you could go to?
Yes, ma'am. We do.
Okay.
My daughter lives in Katy, Turkey, so she has offered us to stay there for a while. She has a couple of rooms that we can use, and the rest of the stuff can be put on storage.
Okay, so you have
we do that. So we do have a contingency plan. So
that's great. So you have a place you could move to. So if we were to be the right buyer, then would you be looking to close in the next 30 days, 60 to 90, 6 months?
For the price, yes, ma'am. We'll can close as soon as maybe 30 to maybe 40 days or 50 days, no more than that. No more than 2 months.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So since you have a place to go, how much do you actually need at closing? Let's just say we could. Do you need the money from this house in order to move, or can you cover moving expenses?
We can cover expenses. That's no problem. That is no problem. Like I said, we have plans. We have a contingency plan for everything. We are not just we don't live paycheck to paycheck, but we do we do that stuff, and we have a means to take care of ourselves.
Okay, yeah, you and your wife sound like you really make a great team. I mean, you've had these conversations. It sounds like you've heard a lot of different ways of selling. What have you not gotten so far that you are looking for?
I need to let you know one thing. We did try to sell to an investor about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. This man, we went through the procedure. It was close, but not very close to the price we needed. And one of the things we considered the price he gave us, and we signed it. We signed it on the bottom line and all that stuff. The only thing is we went through the procedure of with the title company, and we noticed something. This person did not put any money on the escrow. So that told me something that he was not serious about it. So I talked to the title company. What would have happened if a person doesn't put any money in the escrow? And the person says, well, one of the two things can happen. The person is not serious buying the house. The other is he's just playing you. Yeah. So be careful what you do.
Yeah, sadly, Pedro, that is unfortunately common in this business, and it makes my job a lot harder. And so I at least I can assure you that I am a real buyer. And so the prices or the numbers that we talk about are real numbers. They're not like hypothetical. I'm going to bail on you last minute because I can't perform. So you mentioned that 130 or 325. Is that like a hard bottom line? Or if I could ensure you that we could close in the next 30 days so that you and your wife could be on your way and you could minimize that drive for the next 20 years, would you accept lower?
Tell me, what is your name again? I'm so sorry.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. Okay, let me see. Let me associate your number, your name with something.
Yeah. You can just put Jen. Jen buys houses. That's probably easier. Yeah. So would you consider something lower if we could give you some security and assurance?
Just me what you whatever you think is the house is worth. Do your numbers.
Yeah, well, I'm just
thing behind it. I mean, I didn't know nothing about this stuff. You know, I was just one of those people that, let's sell the house and see what happens. But later on, since a lot of investors and a lot of realtors and all that stuff, I learned a couple of things. But I would like for you to do your numbers.
Well,
you can call me anytime you want to.
I actually am. I've been poking around while we've been chatting, and I have been messaging with my funding partner. And so looking at the other properties in the area that have sold recently that are similar, year build, bed bath, all that stuff, it looks like the number would be, and I'm not saying this is like our offer right now, but just looking at what other cash buyers are paying, it's going to be like closer to 300. Is that something you would consider, you and your wife, if we could guarantee a quick, easy process and consistent with our close?
Jennifer, if you do 315 or 310 which one? And if you send it to me by paper, I will show that to my wife. We can do something with it. If she says yes, because we are both in the title, I just can't sell the house by itself.
Got it.
And so if she says yes, I assure you that I will do everything in my power to get my wife going at the same time. And she says yes, we can sign on that line. And as soon as 30, give me about 2 months to get out of the house because it's a lot of mess. I want to sell all this stuff and get rid of all this mess. So I don't have to put a lot of stuff in my storage. So, and I will show you that we can do something with it.
Okay, so my funding partner is actually just walking by. Can you hold on for just 30 seconds?
Sure,
okay.
Sure.
Pedro?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if we could do then, he came in with 300, but he said that we could do 310. You pay your closing costs, we pay ours. We do a 60-day escrow period. 100% we deposit earnest money because that is just not legit if you don't. We make it legit. We deposit it in the next, 48 hours. And then we give you the time you need to move out and take it as is. Then you and your wife would be on board to sign a purchase agreement.
Send me the proposal, Jennifer. And do you have my email?
What is your email?
It's Pedro Servín, Servin.
Wait, one sec here. Pedro, let me.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Okay, can you spell?
Got you guys.
But I will get together with my team and then we'll send you an email and we'll go from there. And then we'll schedule a time that you and your wife can walk through it together.
Jennifer, it's a pleasure talking to you. I would like to get in touch with you. If you send me the proposal, I will consider it, and I'll talk to my wife about it and see she will decide to do so.
That sounds
And I will
good.
let you know.
Sounds good, Pedro. You have a great day.
You have a beautiful day, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Me again.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye. Well, we're gonna.
Interesting.
Oh my God.
From what you were trying to do with those numbers, were you thinking about just like a very long-term option agreement? Is that kind of the direction you were going
With which?
with the 60-day escrow, or do you
Well, he
actually
said
think that it's a deal?
He said he needed 60 days. And it looks like, based on the property that just sold, if it really is minimal work, that it could be, I think we'd be like maybe with like within 10 or 15% of where we need to be. So I talked to Oscar yesterday, Sheshwan, and he was giving me his like quick tips, which is if it's at like within 10 to 15% of like the MAO, that he would lock it up, because after you get the photos and whatnot, and if you really, if you really needed to renegotiate, you could, but at the same time, it would still be a good deal. Still a decent
Do you
deal.
think MAO's in the low threes? What do you think ARV is?
It looks like, let's see, I was just looking at it, like maybe like 430. Let me see. I was looking at this one. Let me see. Where's the open for sold? I had it around the 400s. Let me see. I think I saw like 435 or 450 is what I had it at.
Interesting.
No. Interesting is never a
No. I mean, if
word.
that's what it is, I have not looked the property. I don't even know what the address is, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Obviously, you. Where is it at? What state? What city?
It's in Houston.
Ooh, I like Houston. I love Houston.
Where's the one I was just looking at?
Wait. Do we need a comp in Houston?
I think we may.
Yeah, if you send me the address, I'll get Prakash on it. He can give me a comp in like seconds.
Oh,
I feel
maybe I
like
was looking at the active.
I need to have my.
I was
team
looking.
Take a
I think I
training.
was looking at
I have MLS. I have MLS access in Houston. I can actually comp it.
Houston's probably one of my favorite cities to wholesale. I feel like I
my
need
numbers.
Chad.
Maybe
Go ahead.
I was looking at one that was active for 425, but actually is bigger. So
Well, let's
maybe that
see.
is too tight.
Can you text it in our group chat to Munif?
Yeah.
I feel like I need Chai and Prakash to come and train my team how to underwrite efficiently.
Yeah.
I don't care how much they know. They don't know enough. They don't know as much as the Brown boys.
See. Where's that?
Because we could lock that up probably based on your rapport with him. I feel like that could probably get signed by tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah. Unless my numbers are way off, because I don't, let me see here. Let me see that. I was thinking about going with the fixin list again. Let me see, because he wasn't open to taking terms. Let me see where to go. I'll just put it in the chat here. Probably get photos. Let me see. Should I So I have a little bit of time here, but I think I'm going to go downstairs and see my kids and then come back up and get ready.
I love that. Get your head clear, get yourself ready for the game. All right, guys. So here's what I'm gonna do for everybody who is here watching right now. We got 45 minutes until Jen goes live, right? So give me a second, guys. I'm gonna share with you guys the links.
It's not like it. I like your question though. If you can't get that number you want, what are you going to do? I saw that. Yeah. Can you have a treat? You have a treat? Yeah. Get you a treat. Look.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what these numbers play out like, right? Like for me, he is set in his ways, right? Sounds like a Latino dude, just very prideful, very set in the way he wants to do things, right? And so if his numbers make sense, then we're fine. Then he's being fair. But if they're not, then that would be my line of questioning, which is, okay, well, that sounds great. I hear what you're saying, but everybody who does this for a living disagrees with you. Do you think that matters? Oh, we have a small person.
We have one small person. We have two small people.
Jen, go do what you have to do to get your head right for this competition. Okay. I'm super, super excited for you. I know everybody in here is super excited for you. Who is going to be coming over? We still have like 24, 25 people watching on YouTube. And then we have the people that are here in Zoom. Who is going to be watching Jen try out this afternoon? Like, let me see a yes in the chat, in the comments, if you guys plan on watching Jen try out. Naomi, we know Naomi's gonna be there with the love. Let's go. She's gonna kill it. So what I did is I just sent you guys all in both chats. I sent you guys the links to the Closes Olympics YouTube. That's where it's gonna be going live in about 45 minutes. I'm gonna post it on my stories as well if you guys lose that, so that way you guys can get there. Please, guys, right? I really, really am excited. I hope we get all the sub 2 out there to show you some love. I hope they have 10 times the amount of viewers live today just to show Jen. If you need anything, Jen, we're here for you. Otherwise, we will see you in a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Naomi, I love the hair, by the way. Bye. I appreciate you all. I'll see you later.
Right. If you guys don't have the links, see you, Jen. If you guys don't have the links, feel free to go and check my stories and here in about 30, 45 minutes, and we will post them there as well. I'm excited. Who else is excited? You guys excited? I'm excited. This is what this is all about, right? It's about challenging yourself, pushing to get better, and then, of course, supporting one another in the journey. So I really appreciate it. Anybody got any final thoughts before we take off? Going once, going twice? All right, guys. Well, I will see you guys here in a little bit.